Hello my friends, it's Krebs here, and it's time for some World of Tanks patch 8 point something, patch 8.7 beta test server. We're going to be checking out some of the changes in this patch that you're going to be seeing. It's quite a minor one, it's nothing major, you know, no huge advances or anything like that, but they've added a number of new tanks, new map, reworked a few things, so I thought I'd go about and show you guys some of this stuff. So I'm going to be splitting this video into 3 parts. The first part that you're going to be seeing just now is showing off the actual changes themselves. The second part is focusing on the actual new tanks that they've added to the game. And the third part is taking a look at the new map that they've added. So, right, new changes that they've done. If you go on over, we'll start out with the map and just get it out of the way with. If you go on over to team training rooms, you'll see something called, where is it? We're looking for Belogorsk 19. There it is. Okay, so it's a wintry, townish map. What would be the most akin map to it? It's like taking the town sort of portions of, I don't know, Lakeville, and then stuffing it onto a wintry map, and then expanding that map to make it more extensive. It's sort of like that. You guys are going to see it in the final part of the video. It's actually quite an interesting one. I like all the windy roads. I like the hilltops that you can go on top of and get vantage points to snipe people at the town below. It's really cool. When it comes to the actual tanks themselves, let's get on out of here. They've added in a number of tanks. So if we head on over to the tech tree, you'll see that one of the ones that I'm looking at is this thing right here, the MT-25. And if you're one of these keen eyes, you'll notice that the T-52 is gone. The T-50 led up to the T-52, and then it ended abruptly over there, but now the T-50 is in between. It's part of an Oreo cookie, with the cookie parts being the T-46 and the T-34, and the T-52 no longer exists. Apparently, the T-52 wasn't actually historically accurate at all in this game. It was slow in real life, and to have something being one of the fastest tanks in the game, it was a bit absurd, I guess. So they've replaced that with the MT-25, and they're going to be saying to any T-25 or T-52 owners, they're going to be telling them what they're going to be doing once the patch actually comes out. They haven't actually mentioned anything specifically yet, but I imagine what's going to happen is that they're going to give any T-52 owners the MT-25 instead. That's what I imagine anyway, and what I predict. So I need to hurry the hell on up, because I've got a lot of experience on my T-50 that needs to be transferred over to the T-52 before this patch comes out, so I can get this MT-25 hopefully for free. I hope so anyway. So that is one change that has happened with the Soviets. Let's head on over to the Germans. Is there any changes? Yes, there is. We've got a new edition of a premium tank called the E-25 Elite Tank Destroyer. Yes, Elite. That's just because it's a premium and it's all fully upgraded. But anyway, I want to talk about right now, but I want to talk about more in depth when we get on to the next part. But essentially, I like to think of it, and you're going to see it in the next part, it's such a small tank, and it reminds me of a cross between a Jagdpanzer and a Goliath tank. If you remember that from Company of Heroes, or if you ever seen photos of Goliaths, you know, those sort of remote control artillery bombs, explosives. It's sort of like a cross like that to me. We'll get on to more of that in just a few minutes. Head on over to the Americans, and they've got a change that wasn't actually in the patch notes. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a full change and if it's going to actually happen, but take a look here, guys. M4A2E4 Sherman, okay? If you know anything about this tank, it only came out during the beta test stage of World of Tanks. If you played 1,000 battles in World of Tanks during the beta test stage, you were granted this tank. You were given it for free, a reward. And there was no other way to get it, okay? So I don't know if this is meant to be permanent, or if they're just putting it in the patch test server for people to buy, try it out. Maybe balance up the tank, I have no idea. But it's in there right now, and it wasn't actually mentioned in the patch notes. I'm not sure if it's going to actually be in there in 8.7, but interesting for any of you collectors out there. Go for that. French, nope, no love. Brits, tons of love. Here we go. They've gotten a whole new line of British SPGs, okay? They never had these SPGs before. Now you finally have the British SPGs, including a premium British SPG as well. So let's just start over here. You got the Lloyd, the Sexton 2, and you've also got the Sexton 1, the premium one over here. Moves on all the way on up until you get to the Conqueror gun carriage. Alright, so I've got some footage that I'll be showing you of these tanks. And man, I'm a bit dumb, because I think I said I was going to split this into 3 portions, doing tank analysis and stuff like that. We need to get onto some actual gameplay, don't we? So I think we'll stuff in the gameplay right after those quick tank analysis that we're going to do. But yeah, just to clarify things finally with the Chinese tree, no love. I think they were supposed to get a WZ tank of some sort, but apparently it was really broken, I think, or so I hear. And yeah, it's not in there. Alright, so on to some analytics. Alright, so on to some analysis. Actually, quick fact, I'm gonna correct myself over what I was saying about the E4. I found out the whole reason why it's actually on here. The EZ4 is on this tech tree because the dev server, the test server rather, is running on a Russian client of the game, okay? So in the Russian server, they actually have this tank normally for sale. It's not activated for the other servers out there. So we don't have access to it normally, but on the test server, because it's a Russian client, that's why you can buy it. So probably don't expect this tank to be coming out anytime soon. Because people absolutely hate these open beta tanks, or, you know, closed beta tanks coming out. Because the original people who got them don't like them going on sale. There's a whole reason for them to actually have been exclusive. They don't like it coming out on sale, and once Wargaming did it, and they got a big whiplash for it. So yeah, you probably won't see it anytime soon. So anyway, guys, let's focus on some other characteristics of the tanks here. The MT-25, 72 speed limit. Alright, so this pretty much looks like the... yeah, this is looking really similar to the T-52 for me. When I actually go out into a battle with it, though, and you guys are going to see it when I'm going out onto the new map, it's I don't know, it feels alright. It has a slow acceleration, though. It's not the fastest that I've ever seen. And I could definitely imagine it being a scout. You know, once it gets to its top speed, it's going to stay at that speed, but acceleration really isn't perfect. From 0 to 72, it's going to be a little bit of a while. Not my most favorite tank, but I think I might as well show you guys what it looks like if you haven't already seen it in the garage. That is what it looks like. Looks kind of cool, I think. Looks kind of a little bit blocky, like a Lego brick, kind of smoothed out edges and such. Yeah, it looks alright, pretty cool. Looking forward to that one. Head on over to something else. We've got the E25 over here. So let's go ahead and bring that on up. Germany, tank destroyer, and there we go, E25. So remember how I was saying this looked a little bit like a cross between a Jagdpanzer and a Goliath? Yeah, it's kind of a mixture of all these, you know, tanks. You know, maybe even throw in a Hetzer in there as well. That's just what it reminds me of. A little cockroach looking sort of thing. But the nice thing about it, look at these stats along the side. 830 HP, which isn't the best for a tier 7 tank, but that's not its standout point. And might as well just point it out here as well. The armor isn't great, but look at the rest of its capabilities. The speed limit, the horsepower, acceleration, top speed is insane. This thing goes so fast for a tank destroyer. Traverse speed, perfect. Standard shell damage, it's kind of on the low side, but this is where it makes up. Look at this rounds per minute, 20, okay? That's Gatling gun. Anyone screaming? Anyone think this screams of Gatling gun coming out of this thing? Very fast. Moving from point A to point B will be no problem. Flanking at your enemy. And also, you know, very fast rapid fire succession here. I think I might as well show you guys the gun as well, but look at this accuracy, 0.3 with insane aim time as well. Wow. I think it's going to be definitely worth the credits to buy it, and if you might already be asking Krebs, how much does it cost to buy this tank? It's 7,000 gold, alright? So a little bit expensive. Actually, very expensive. But, it's a doozy, okay? It's fun. I'm gonna show you guys gameplay of it, actually, in a few moments, a few minutes after we've done this analysis. And you'll see, it's a great tank. Now, moving on to the next one. What do we have next? M4A2E4. I was thinking about it, but I don't think we'll do an analysis of it because, I mean, chances are you'll see this once in a blue moon in the EU server, NA server, or whatever. But it comes out at 1,500 gold. You can only get it on the Russian server as far as I know. How does it compare to the M4? I don't know. I haven't really taken a huge look at it. All I know from historical aspects is that it had a different suspension than the M4. It's a variant of it. So I imagine that it's going to come down to, what, maneuverability being better? Has some crazy sloped armor on it as well. But anyway, not going to focus on that. Not going to worry too much about it. Let's go on over to the Brits and give them a little bit of love. We've got this whole massive SPG line. And again, I don't know if there's a point of actually comparing them to other tanks. I mean, we can throw out some of the stats right here. You guys can take a look at it if you really, really must. But overall, this is the British line of SPGs coming out right here. As you can see, I've unlocked the Conqueror gun carriage, and I've got a gameplay that I'm going to be showing you of that as well. But you know, powerful tank, 2,200 damage per shot, big blast radius, accuracy. It's alright. You guys will have to see it in the actual gameplay itself. Apart from that, the Sexton over here, difference between the two. Look at that. More damage per shot. More damage per shot. But it looks like the Sexton 2 has better reload time. Yeah, it's always those pros and cons, isn't it? It's always going to be, it's better for one thing, but then worse at something else. It's a matter of just balancing it. And when it comes to a lot of these premium tanks, it's always going to be, the main advantage of it is that it's going to be earning more credits than a normal tank, okay? Alright guys, so that is some of the tanks for you. I think what we might do is actually, if I go ahead and show you guys what these tanks actually look like. So say for the Sexton, for example, UK, SPGs, hello Sexton. Apparently you got a massive crew of 6. It's a big old party in that. Look at this massive hot tub without no water in it. It's a big old party in this Sexton 1. A little bit funny that, how much does it cost? I should actually show you guys that as well. 1,250 gold in order to buy it, so not too bad at all. It's just the crew. It's the freaking crew, 6 members. If you want to get them up to 100%, you're going to have to nearly double how much you're going to be paying for this tank in order to get 100% crew on it. But like some people say, there's no point of getting 100% crew initially on a premium tank because usually you use them to train up the crew and put them onto another tank of similar capacity. But yeah, just pointing that out. Conqueror gun carriage, massive thing. Just a big house on wheels. How can you not be happy with a house on wheels? And also this big telescope on front of it as well. Doubles up as a massive cannon. So that's great. Okay guys, so that is the analysis for now. What I'm gonna do is jump on into a few games for you guys. Alright, so time for some gameplay footage. E25 we're starting off with. Look at the rapid speed of this thing. Honestly, cockroach, yes, it definitely looks like a cockroach, but it reminds me of Speedy Gonzalez. It's honestly such a fast tank for a tank destroyer, which is one of the most surprising things about it. It has such similarities. You can just think of it as such similarities to looking like a Hetzer, looking like a Jagdpanzer, and it's just so deceiving just how speedy this thing is. I'm crossing the map like crazy here. Just going from one side to the next, to the next, to the next. No problem at all. As you can see, just taking up a defensive position here. And I don't know the exact camouflage values for this, but given its low profile, its low silhouette, I honestly, and small silhouette as well, I honestly think that it must have, surely must have great camouflage values. So getting to a spot like this, no problem at all. I think you could probably get on to this spot before the enemies can actually start crossing the airfield on their section. And if you had a scout up there or something spotting it, who knows, you could actually penetrate them. But anyway, I'm camping a little bit right now, just seeing how the map is panning out at the moment, the match. And I realize, well, I'm not doing anything here, plus one of my teammates is on my side. I'm just gonna move. I'm not gonna stay around there. Be a team player. Okay, so moving on up. And this is where it's going to become quite interesting. So, yeah. Kind of weird that you'd be using a tank destroyer so up close and personal. Really. Very strange. Lost the track there from, what was that, an SU-122-44? Don't know where he shot me from because I wasn't really paying attention. But that's what damaged me, detracked me, luckily. And it took a little bit of damage as well. But that's the, what the heck was that? That was taken out. Oh, wasn't even paying attention to that. KV-13? Was it? That was taken out. And again, so using this advantage of the speed to do some crazy stuff, in my opinion. Maybe not the smartest stuff. What I'm doing is quite bold here, just charging up. But the idea behind it is to flank. Get on the side of your enemy, because I see that there's a little bit of a stalemate going on, you know, from two directions, one enemy on one direction and my teammates on the other direction. Nothing's really happening. It's quite stale. So that's why I came in flanking speed, going crazy in there, taking some damage at the same time, but at least jumbling things on up a little bit. And here we go, some more E25 action. There's plenty of E25s on my team, on their team. Powerful tanks, fast reload. I'm sure you're getting a feeling of what this tank is actually capable of in an actual match. But again, trying to go for more flanks here. There's a few tanks here. Now, how the hell am I going to defuse the situation? Well, that makes it easier. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. what is that, Hellcat, for finishing off my enemy. And now I'm just going to go as fast as I possibly can. Get around this other E25 on the enemy team. Fire once, and can I get the last shot off? Yes, I can. E25, no more. Do you guys get where I'm coming from when I think this tank looks like a Goliath? Kind of ridiculous to be saying that, but honestly, it does. I think it does. You need to look up some pictures of what a Goliath looks like, but I really think it does look like it. We're being a little bit stupid right now, criticaling the Hellcat up there. Taking out probably his gun, maybe damaging it or something like that, maybe injuring a crew member, but ricocheting right off that turret. Sorry, that wasn't a Hellcat, that looked like one. It's Panzer M10, that's what it was. Okay, sorry, I'm watching on a smaller screen right now, so I can't actually see like the names perfectly. But now I'm going out into my premium Sherman, the open beta Sherman, the Easy 4, the one that nobody can normally access unless they were part of the beta stage of World of Tanks in the servers that we typically play on, but unless you're in Russia, then you can buy this tank normally. But yeah, I'm going to be showing you guys some gameplay in it. Just thought I'd throw it in there. You know, it's not a tank that we're going to see, but may as well throw it in there because here's the opportunity to do it. Trying to angle my tank a little bit just in case some enemies come on nearby from where I was anticipating forward ahead. But rather there's a Stug up over there at the center of the map. Probably one of the worst places you could be, and just especially when you're doing a little bit of a waltz. Come on! Yeah, hanging around that area. Okay, so now that's not the Stug. But I'm definitely not penetrating him at all. Not managing to do it. German tank, name slips my mind. Starts with an E, I think. And now I'm trying out some premium shells, not working. I have no idea how that shell apparently went through me there. You guys seen it. What, did it go underneath me? Looked absolutely ridiculous. One went zooming right on by my the side of my tank as well. Just over here. Got a few enemies. Yeah. One shot on that Stug. He's still doing a waltz around the map. One on the RT. Now gonna be coming in to close on the kill. At least I hope so anyway. But can't get too happy too fast. There we go. That's the same tank that I was just firing at and digging off all the time. So one shot for luck, miss, it looked like anyway. And I know that I'm not going to be able to penetrate him from the front. He's got his attention on my teammate. So let's start hitting him from the back. There we go, those weak spots. In the hull, at the back of the turret. All the same thing, all does damage. Hoping that I can maybe get some sort of critical, you know, ammo racks of some sort, but to be honest with you, I don't know where the ammo racks are on this tank. I'm just aiming for specific places, hoping for something. Well, luckily saving my teammate. He's gone. Gonna be finishing off this match. Just a few moments here. In fact, may as well just finish off the match now because nothing else is going to be happening that's exciting. Okay, so now moving on to the artillery. I'm using the tier 10 Conqueror gun carriage. So rather than showing you guys the full gameplay, I thought it'd be kind of boring if I did that. I'm just showing you the highlights leading up to the moments when I fire my shell, and then shortly afterwards, so you can get an impression of what like the aim time is like, and also the reload time. I think it's just under a minute, the reload time on this thing. Not bad. The damage isn't that shabby either. 2,200, I think we saw. It's not the most, but it's pretty damn high. So good alpha damage. But not the best damage per second, so to say. So just missing a few shots, but these are all counting towards actually doing some damage. This is how much I earned from just getting those few hits. Yeah, not bad. So it's on to the finale now, and checking out the new map that is Belogorsk 19. Not sure what the 19 means. Somebody could fix that for me. Let me know. I'd be very keen to find out. But going out into the MT-25 as well, that new tank that replaces the T-52. Just gonna be checking it around. This isn't a training room. It's not an actual game itself, so we're just gonna be flying around the map, just checking it all out, getting in between the nicks and the knacks, the grooves, the ravines, just checking it all out generally. So I'm heading down south along this wee passageway, and immediately leading on up to a village. Okay, so I imagine that this is going to be a standard battle here, just looking at where the teams spawn and also where the enemy points are. This is sort of reminding me of, why can I not remember that one old map that was taken out a long time ago? Was it Swamplands or something like that? It was something like that, where you had that infamous bridge in the middle of the map and that infamous section in the middle of the map where everyone would die if they went there, basically. It reminds me of that because it splits the team right down the line. One side needs to essentially go a completely opposite direction if they want to capture, and then the other side has to go a complete opposite direction if they want to defend. Okay, so it really does split up the team. Be interesting to see how a map like this pans out. But going right through the middle of the town here, as you can see, the rivers are frozen over. And they haven't properly fixed the graphics yet because apparently there's grass growing on the river. I don't know how that makes sense, but apparently there's grass on the river, frozen river. Okay, fair enough. In Soviet Russia, no, but grass grows on river, on water. But that's just that's what it is. You can cross the river anywhere. You don't actually have to go on the bridges themselves. This is where the enemies spawn, on my side, if you're starting up in the north. And I noticed that a few guys must have been going up this higher gradient of terrain. And I think this is what makes it really cool. This area right here gives you really good vantage points to look right on across the battlefield. And even more so, you can see what I'm going to go up onto here. This mound. Yeah, going to get right on top of it and look at that. I can look straight on across. I can see people who are defending, hopefully. This will probably be a place for tank destroyers of some sort, and maybe if there's scouts down there scouting out the targets, then the tank destroyers will be able to get an easy shot, pick off some guys from sniping at them. That's what I imagine anyway. Now I'm just swinging around the north side. Few enemies. They're not friendly. Really, they aren't. They're honestly out here to kill me. Oh man, come on, I just want to check out the map. Oh dear. Yeah. I'm out of here. So you got a lot of cover available to you. But it's more so temporary cover. Notice the lack of like rocks and such. It's more so houses, stuff that you can actually break. So temporary cover. Another enemy in front of me. All I'm going to do is come through this flanking direction along the river. That's the point of it. It's frozen over. Take advantage of it. Yeah, I'm just going to totally ignore you. Got a little bit of a fright there. And because I'm so small, I can squeeze right under that bridge. And I think that might be a great way to try to avoid players if you're being chased. Trying to shoot you. Just go on under that bridge, get some cover. And swinging around along this frozen river here. Yeah, I can go under this one as well. And under this one. Few bridges, but is there a point to it? I don't know. And that pretty much shows you what it's all about. I'm gonna die here in a few moments. So the patch 8.7, it's not a huge one. It's not introducing a whole lot, but there are some substantial changes. There are, you know, new map, new tanks, some rework, stuff like that. They're gonna be reworking some other maps to include better graphics. I think port and highway or something. And they're also going to be reworking some other tanks, I believe. I think so. But what I'll do is I'll provide the patch notes in the description box below. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, this is Krebs, and I will catch you all later.